Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Keeneland Racecourse here on Wednesday. It is the 19th of April 2023. Gonna look at the sixth race from Keeneland, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean around the world. Let's look at the sixth race from Keeneland, which is an allowance race purse, $110,000, race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Never won a race on the main claim starter, or it's never won 2 races here. We have a field of 12 horses heading to the turf course. The distance of ground here of 2,400 meters, if you want to go with that, or the distance of ground of 1.5 miles on the Keeneland turf course, 2,400 meters, a mile 1/2. My top selection, I'm going to get a little wacky here. I'm going to go with the number 1 horse, foreign relations, 110-311 for me in the superfecta. 110-311 super, top selection 1 horse, foreign relations. It's 5-year-old gelding by Caracanite here. Connor Murphy trains. Flavian Pratt gets to mount. The horse's most recent outing came 10th of March at Turfway. Mile and a quarter on the Tapeta and an allowance optional 25 claimer. First time facing winners, he finished 7 by 12 lengths that day. And he just kind of hit the wall. He stalked a little bit of fast pace for the race, and he just never really got going. I do think with a better poster here today, seeing a little bit more forwardly paced, going to the 1.5 miles, I think he could really run a good race and win here today. 2 back in the main Specialway at Turfway, 1.25 miles on the 16th of February. It was a success for him, winning by a length that day. He stalked that day from a little bit of wide poster. When he got to the front end, he quickened up, and he got the job done. A very, very good race from there. And then 25th of January at Turfway, 16th in the main Specialway. He finished 4th by 2 3/4 lengths. He just kind of stalked that day. He needed something more late, but nothing bad about that run. And then first off, the 1.5 year refreshing at Turfway, 16th on main Specialway, 70,000. He finished 3rd by length. Had a little bit of a trouble trip early on, but he was gaining that day. For it being his first race in a 1.5 years, didn't think it was a half bad run at all. The previous race, his only race ever, was on debut on the 24th of July at Ellis, going 1.25 miles, which is unusual in the main Specialway. He finished 2nd by 2 3/4 lengths at a stupidly wide post drop. Stupidly horrible beginning that day, stupidly wide, but he really was closing up well late. Not a bad race after all is said and done. He's training well. I'm going to give him a shot here on the ticket. I think the 10 horse here, always above for Joe Talmo is your second likeliest winner. Most recently ran the thoroughbred aftercare marathon stakes here at Keeneland over the 5 furlongs on the dirt, where he finished 6 by 16.5 lengths that day, and he just kind of hit the wall. He was facing tough horses that day. Prior to that, here in October at Keeneland, 1.5 miles in a lounge race, he finished 5th by 4.5 lengths that day, and he was stupidly wide, which cost him. And then the Dueling Grounds Derby, he finished 4th by 7 3/4 lengths that day. He moved a little bit late, but it wasn't anything spectacular. He broke his mane, though, last summer at Churchill on the turf, 1.3 miles in main Specialway, winning by 4 3/4 lengths, closing it from nowhere with a wide trip. He really ran his heart out there. Then after that, in June, ran 1.5 miles on the dirt in a lounge race, where he finished 2nd by 5 1/4 lengths, again, closing up from nowhere. Not a bad run at all. Refreshing here today at 3-1. I'm going to use him on the ticket also. And also, the 3 horse, Evan Harlan, hasn't been seen since the San Marcos, where he just never had a good trip that day. And then on in early January at Santini in that mile race, he just needs something more. Coming to a longer trip also should suit him well. I'll use him in the late pick 4. But to recap my selection for the 6 from Keeneland, we're going to take the 1 horse Foreign Relations, give kudos to the 10 horse Always Above, and the 3 horse Evan Harlan. 110-311 super, 110-3 in your multi-race. So good luck to them. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.